My doctor told me that I had prostate cancer. November 5th, I have the biopsy. November 10th, I know I have prostate cancer. December 27th, have the surgery. January 7th, back talking to you here at the Leadership Center and back to work. And that's not to say that I'm a hero or anything, but I'm just saying I wanted to go fast. We chose to share it with my daughters in mid-December after my oldest daughter returned from college and my other daughter had a break in school as well. We sat them down early evening and we just said, we have something important to share with you. I've been diagnosed with prostate cancer. They reacted pretty well. Of course, in the moment, I know that it was challenging to both think about the potential impacts of their father having cancer and what that might mean for my life, what it might mean for their lives. So my father had prostate cancer at 55. My oldest brother, who's 9 years older than me, also had it at 55. And because of my family history, my doctors were dialed in on making sure that my PSA blood levels, which are kind of the primary indicator of prostate cancer, were always at the right level. My father did not have the luxury that I had. There was not the equipment or the capability for prostate removal when my father got prostate cancer. He chose an alternative treatment, but when my brother had his surgery 5 years ago and he chose the newer technology prostate removal, and I talked to my brother once I was diagnosed, I was really fortified in going forward with this treatment plan and knowing that in a sense I was doing what my dad would have done in his situation and what my brother did and has been very healthy since then, that I was really okay, we curtains go through this door and we come out the other side doing well. And so that was my mindset. And look, this is still fresh in my mind. I'm still scared out of my mind. I haven't still fully processed what I've been through. When my father was not able to have the surgery and made the choice not to, then there was 22 years of wondering when that ogre was going to re-knock at the door because the cancer was still in there. We were always waiting for that ogre to reemerge. And it ultimately was the complication that ended his life. And so I wanted to get that ogre out. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. And I wanted to do it fast. Of course, you're talking to a guy who's sitting in a place that has a leadership center, not only named after my dad, but in my dad's cursive. So yeah, I was thinking about my dad. Yeah, my best friend's dad passed away in mid-December, and his funeral was December 27th. So my best friend calls me and says, hey, his father had passed away from dementia and had just had a terrible end to his life. And my best friend calls me and says, hey, my father passed away. Funeral's December 27th. And he called me back 4 days before, and I'm like, I can't go. I said, I have to tell you something too. I got to go in for prostate surgery that day. He's like, oh my God. And so we had a nice talk, and I said to him, look, I'm going to go into surgery. I'm going to have my father and my mother watching over me. Your mother, his mother passed away several years ago and was wonderful to me. And your father watching over me. It's not going to get any better than that in terms of the angels watching over me. And that was really, really special. And so as I was preparing for surgery, I was thinking about my father and my mother and his mother and his father. And I'm convinced that they were with me that day. My doctor, Dr. Michael Goltzman, who's an amazing urologist, let me choose my own role in music. And he said, what do you want as your role in music as we come into the OR? And I said, I got it. Anything from the Killers. And he said, we're not about to roll you into surgery. I don't care if they're the best band in the world, and play anything by a band called the Killers. I rolled into Wonderwall, which is a great song by Oasis, and did make me feel even more taken care of. The goal is to have the PSA at 0.0, which is the best news. Also, they did some other tests while they were doing surgery to check if there was any cancer in my lymph nodes around that area, and they gave me the good news that there was no cancer in the lymph nodes. And yes, for now, I'm 0.0. I'm cancer-free for now, and they'll now do 3-month checkups, and we'll continue to monitor. And so that was really wonderful news, being 0.0. I certainly was so grateful for that. That's just kind of where we are now. And it's a mix of bravery and courage and fear and anxiety and gratitude and wonder for the blessings that I've had so far. So that's the best I can describe it right now. If you have a family history and your doctor's not talking to you about your PSA levels or checking your PSA, or you don't know what your PSA is, you got to know it. When they revealed that I had prostate cancer. They said, hey, it's stage 2, which I was actually surprised it wasn't stage 1 because we'd sort of caught it early and it was only 2 out of 12, whatever. So it's stage 2. Well, they went in for the removal, and by virtue of where they found cancer, they actually then said, actually, it was stage 3. I was already at stage 3. My PSA wasn't a 35 or higher. I didn't have other demographic risk categories. I've been talking with clients and prospects over the past 6 weeks, and I just say, hey, look, just want to let you know, I'm 51 and I did this, and you should really check your PSA. Have your PSA checked, make sure you're doing this. And even folks that are my age and are kind of in a higher risk category, they're like, yeah, I'm so sorry for you. It's like, dude, I'm good. Like, I'm on top of it. I'm saying this because I love you. I care about you. Make sure you're doing this because it's so important. And it is treatable. And it's just what I hope for not only myself, but for all my friends and all colleagues that I really care for to be on top of this. It's important.